Welcome to Shake Your
Hey,
Mouth Lounge. It's episode number 156 with Addie and Pink and Alex.
Oh,
Oh, all right. Pink, you got anything coming out on your channel?
yeah, I'll probably have a lot of Guilty Gear coming out. So I still have 2 episodes I need to actually be uploaded, and I intend on doing some more arcade this week.
All right.
yeah, I watched Pink's last Guilty Gear video. I was also recording today. I'm the one with you,
Ha!
but I was the first. That's all you need to know. But
Oh, you didn't
uh,
comment, so it's not.
true.
Oh, it doesn't count as a view then.
But yeah, so I did that, and turns out putting Pink against Ginyu freaking paid off in the long run. Because when Pink is not paying attention to the game and he's trying to commentate, he pulls out like freaking 15 hit combos.
It's interesting.
Very interesting.
That's how I play fighting games too, Pink. So I'm not judging you. But yeah, if you stick with fighting games long enough, then after a while you'll be able to sometimes be able to tell what's going on and make conscious decisions while you do those 15 hit combos as well. But even I'm only just stepping into that, and I've been playing fighting games most of my life. So hey,
It also depends on how much experience you've got with a given character.
yeah, true.
Because, like, I can't do combos with, like, the majority of the Guilty Gear cast. It's mostly just with Soul or with Slayer, and Soul's got dirt easy combos.
And I just tend to get lucky. I just guess right. I'm like, well, maybe if I press, I don't know, like forward slash instead of neutral slash, then it will be a big enough hitbox to hit you in the air, and then I can do a jump cancel, and that's what happens sometimes.
Oh, I never do combos like that. It's just...
I mean, the way I do combos, the way I learn how to do combos is I figure out a character's specials, and then I don't actually learn the pokes or anything like that. I try to go against the AI until the AI forces me to learn the pokes. And then with how I structure combos, it's just I know that this one thing starts a combo, so I do a combo, or I do the starter rather, and then I follow it up with just filler normals. Like I'm not paying attention in particular to the sequence in which I'm pressing the normals, and then I end it with the combo ender. And if I do the combo long enough, then it will basically like smith itself out to the point where I will have the specific amount of normals and which ones I need to use.
All right.
It takes a lot longer than if you actually just like sat down and did the numbers and shit like that. But I mean, I'm not smart enough for the numbers anyways. Who gives a shit?
I can relate.
Sometimes numbers can be fun, but I've never sat down to look at Guilty Gear numbers. So, Pink, in your playthroughs of arcade mode, which characters are you trying?
So, I've not tried anyone new yet. I've not through arcade. I've done a lot of versus CPU just to test out a lot of different characters.
Okay.
And nobody's really stuck out to me as a contender for beating out Biken and Faust as my favorites, but still a lot of fun variety there.
Oh, yeah. Guilty Gear's very good at roster variety. They're all very different.
Yeah.
There's
I
even
was
a
playing
boring
as
vanilla
Dizzy.
guy.
Yeah.
God bless Key.
I
I mean, not
was
even
playing as
keys.
Dizzy last night, and she's kind of weird.
I love
Like-
Dizzy. She's all kinds of fucking weird, yeah.
I feel like she's like a zoner type character thus far. Maybe I'm playing her
She is.
wrong,
Yeah.
but I felt like up close that there was like no options.
Yeah, no, Pink, you're right.
Okay, it was like all projectiles all day long. I was like, okay, that's cool.
The trick I found out with Dizzy recently, this may just be in XX, I don't know if she's got it in Exard, but in XX, when Dizzy calls out her little ice fish that can do like the 5 different commands,
Mm-hmm.
if you press another button when Dizzy is forming the ice fish before it goes out to do your command, it will register that button as a second command and do that afterwards.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a real trick with Dizzy. That way the ice fish becomes extra unpredictable.
Right.
It's fun learning some Guilty Gear characters.
And then there's Zappa.
Yeah.
I tried learning Zappa. I gave up.
Zappa to me seemed like a character who just can't go wrong. You just press buttons and you'll succeed.
I mean, yeah.
Depending on what ghost you have out.
Yeah. And so you need, like, if you actually want to cover your ass, you need to know what the ghosts do. But to know what the ghosts do, you need to remember like 3 or 4 like command normals, basically.
Yeah.
That are different for every ghost. And so far, the only character that is more demanding of your remembering every single special that I have seen is Nines in Blaze Blue.
Oh. I honestly
Because
thought you were
she
going
is-
to go for Zato, but yeah, she works too.
I mean, Zato, you just need to pay attention to where Eddie is separately, and then do your shit while Eddie also does his shit that you told him to do. It's just Carl Clover.
Yeah.
Nine the Phantom is literally Invoker in a fighting game. Literally Invoker.
You have 3 different magical ingredients you can combine to form 24 different spells?
Or you have 4 different magical ingredients you can form different spells from. Yes.
Okay. I have to imagine people just get used to whichever moves they happen to like and stick with those.
Well, that or if you can remember all of them, because the getting the ingredients together isn't particularly hard. I guess if you get good enough with her, then she just becomes all of the mix-ups ever. Because you know Arakune's freaking super, where all of the screen is just covered in yokai.
Vaguely, yes.
Well, I expect that Nine would be able to do that without meter. Because, may I remind you, aside from her magic abilities, she also has Bayonetta legs.
Okay.
So yeah. she just has a shit ton of stuff, and yeah. Good. The only good thing about her is that, like, she has all of this shit, but she's also a zoner. If you get in, then she will be in a bit of a pickle. Yes.
Jesus Christ. I'm actually kind of interested to try this character.
She seemed like a lot of fun if you can actually wrap your head around all of the stuff, but I couldn't keep everything in mind to be able to play her properly. Because, like, she can do, like, mid-range rushdown, she can do zoning, she can do keep away. If you get really close, then her options are reduced to like 15%, but she still has some options.
Yeah,
It's ridiculous.
those kinds of characters usually have an option for everything, and it's just kind of awkward to work around it, is the difficulty, I suppose.
Yeah.
What else did you do this past week, Pink? I guess what else would be going up on your channel this past week, Pink?
What else would be going up on my channel? Probably nothing much. I've recorded a few clips from Watch Dogs. They're nothing special though. They're just like 20-second clips of things that have gone horribly wrong. So those will also probably be going up this week. But aside from that, absolutely nothing.
Alright. Eddie.
Yeah, I'm still sitting on the Titanfall recording because I forgot to either publish it or to put it past y'all, so
Ooh.
that waits to be seen.
I would just say fuck it and upload it. But I'm a crazy person. I'm a wild and crazy guy.
I mean, honestly, I might swing that way as well if I think about stuff for a bit. But I'll come back to that to why I'm saying that. But once we get to what we did this past week.
Okay. And on my end, expect pretty well more of the same. Because I'm going to upload the final part of The Forest from my end pretty soon. With that said, there is one more part that I failed to record in a fit of stupidity. Or at least I only recorded the audio, and I will not be uploading that. So if you want to see that final part, go watch Mike's channel. I will also be continuing to upload Dead Rising 2 with Mike. We are having some interesting troubles with that game. Oh god.
Did he also shoot freaking Diana or whatever her name was?
No, we did kill a couple survivors, but not her. She lived today.
Today.
Yeah, I when I was going through we were going through that first half of that game, and I was like, I was having the Thanos from Endgame moment, right? Perhaps I was too harsh towards you, right? And then we get to that second half, and then all of a sudden I'm like 2014 Thanos from Endgame. No, it all has to be reduced to ashes. This game, see, I bitch about the comedy, I bitch about the balance being too predicated on combo weapons, which is getting worse and worse as the game goes by. Because the boss health meters are getting extraordinary in length, and the only way to bring them down is with combo weapons, because those are the only things that deal enough damage. But the boss fights, they're just too backloaded. There's it feels like one or two boss fights in the fucking front half of the game, and then just all of a sudden, you get hit with a fucking cavalcade of boss fights, and it's ridiculous. And you feel like you're fighting more humans than fucking zombies. And the mall layout, the place is too fucking big. They should have gone for quality of content instead of quantity of content. I don't want to say that they weren't bad at quality of content, though, because a lot of the stretches of the mall are interesting places with, cool bits. But there's too fucking much. It's a big fucking place, and it feels like a pain in the ass to trek across the damn place. Oh, and there is a lot of stuff in the late game, and I'm fine with missing out on some things because it's kind of Dead Rising's thing is that you generally speaking are not going to be able to get everything in one run unless you're at level 50 and know the map. So I'm fine with missing some stuff, and that's just part of it. But I mean, Jesus Christ, the amount of psychopaths is fucking ridiculous. And the storyline just goes off the fucking rails hardcore once you get into the end game anyways. And I forgot how bad it was, but it goes hard into sci-fi bullshit. And it's what's happening? This game's supposed to be set in 2010.
Wesker happened.
Yeah, I guess it did. Because this did come out after Resident Evil 5. And boy, we've got the Resident Evil 5 problem of oh hey, the late game is just dudes with guns. Enjoy. You thought this was a zombie game. No. Here's dudes with guns.
It's a Doom game, but you're the imp.
Oh, fuck. I can't even walk around that fast while shooting guns. They have guns, and I'm supposed to just run up and smack them with a sledgehammer with 2 fireman axes taped to it. Because the combo weapons half of them are really cute and clever. The other half are alright, they ran out of ideas, didn't they? Here's a fucking leaf blower that for some reason shoots out gems.
Sounds expensive.
Yeah. Oh, and did I mention that the PC port is really fucking buggy?
No.
I've crashed at least 3 times. Mike's crashed twice now. Well, I've actually crashed way more than 3 times, but that's because I was able to find a consistent bug, which is you can't use the mouse you can't use the mouse on the main menu. If you try to use the mouse to click on main menu options, that crashes the game.
What?
Which you think would be a fundamental feature of making a PC port.
No kidding.
So you are forced to use the keyboard, the fucking arrow keys and the enter key to make your menu selections on the main menu.
That's
So
an interesting design choice.
yeah.
Didn't we get past this problem in like freaking 2002 with GTA Vice City?
Oh, you'd think so. And we're not even getting into how awkward the controls are because the thing doesn't recognize Xbox One controllers, so I have to play on mouse and keyboard, and it's a fucking third-person game. Playing on mouse and keyboard in a third-person game is ass to begin with, and the control scheme is super awkward. The movement keys are on WASD, and aiming and attacking is on mouse, right? Perfectly natural.
Right.
The keys for unequipping items or dropping items, which is something you'll want to do a lot in Dead Rising. Up arrow, down arrow. Not even on the numpad, on the actual arrow keys to the left of the numpad.
What?
The game did not explain this to me, by the way, until we got to the final act.
Nice.
Like, legitimately, as we were fighting the final enemies before the final boss fight, the game finally fucking gave me the explanation of how to drop items, and I was like, oh, fucking great! Thanks!
Thanks, I really could have used that a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, I super could've. Because Dead Rising has a thing where there are some things that'll happen to you that cause you to get stunned, and if you get stunned, you drop your items. And Dead Rising 2 in particular has loads of these. There are zombies that can puke on you. They make you drop your items. If you drink more than 2 bottles of liquor in, like, the space of fucking an hour, Frank or Chuck gets drunk and starts puking, and every time they puke, they drop whatever item they're carrying. If you get hit while you're fucking jumping, you drop your item. If you get hit by a car, you drop your item.
If you don't follow the train, CJ.
Oh my god. Oh, that's one nice thing is they got rid of the fucking catch the goddamn train CJ mission. Frank just immediately catches up to it. You don't have to play it this time.
Okay, that was a good freaking change. So Pink, in Dead Rising 2, when W and I played it for the channel, there was a part like we were joking about how it's Dead Rising trying to be GTA San Andreas with the shitty humor and all that, and the half-assed social commentary, and then we get to a part. It's literally an underground train. It's not even a metro. It's legitimately an underground train going in circles while you follow it on motorcycles, trying to jump on it. It's literally the Big Smoke mission, but Big Smoke is not sitting behind you.
And it took us... Here's the thing. There's no failure state for it either. Like, if you lose the train, you just have to catch up.
Oh my goodness.
So it took me and Addie 10 minutes to catch that goddamn train. Oh, fuck. Yeah, it was...
All you had to do was follow the goddamn train CG.
Oh no, Chuck Green. You're right, it's Chuck Green, so CG.
That's incredible.
And as always, everything ties back into Coconut Gun. Fires in spurts.
Yeah, Dead Rising 2 had serious issues to begin with. At least off the record, like, starts off fairly well, and then it does a fucking breakneck 180 midway through the game, where it's like, oh hey, welcome to Shitland. Yeah. There also, I'll probably at some point this week do another little video. I want to talk about Warhammer 3, but like, LPs I can't really do because the campaign map in Warhammer 2 makes my fucking computer go nuts. And I can play them without recording, but with recording it gets a little too stinky. And I don't like know where to start with edited video essays, and those seem like a lot of work anyways, and I want to talk about a lot of things. And the thing is, I've recorded like several Total War videos. I'm not great at commentary when I'm trying to think and play at the same time, right?
Right.
So the way I realized is, oh, what if I just talk about Total War Warhammer 3, like during the build-up to Total War Warhammer 3, while I have the AI play against the AI? And it's actually really funny because the game doesn't give you a spectator mode by default. But I figured out a jank equivalent, which is I set up an AI army that's fighting on my side, an AI army on the opposite side, and then I only get one unit. It's a Skaven ninja. I hide it somewhere on the map where the enemy AI army is never going to find it. And then I hit play and watch the AIs duke it out while I talk about Warhammer 3.
That one Skaven is a cameraman hiding in the bushes.
Yeah, pretty much. It's super on brand for the Skaven too. Just sitting and watching from the bushes and being like, yes, go kill. And I've uploaded 2 videos of that so far. When I was working on the videos, I felt like really nervous about them because I was like, boy, this is super jank for me to just sit here and talk while the AI dukes it out, and there's like not even a thumbnail. And lo and behold, the first one got 8 views, the second one got 22 views, which is huge for me. So apparently I should keep doing this. Apparently there's a hunger for this content. So more of the road to Warhammer 3, yay!
Oh man.
Pink!
Good luck. Try to get a freaking writer's block like I did. Because there used to be a time when all of my uploads, any of my reviews that I uploaded, got over 100 views. That time is long gone. That was like 2 or 3 years ago.
I'll tell you what, brother. I can always make loads of content just off of obscure Warhammer lore.
True.
Did you know that there's a Warhammer equivalent of the fucking Netherlands, where they have a god of capitalism?
I think you told me about it, yeah.
And that place is like the only place in the Warhammer world where you can find just about every single kind of person living there. Humans, elves, ogres, lizardmen, German humans, French humans, Japanese humans, Chinese humans, Indian humans. Pretty much everyone. Because the god of capitalism loves all flavors as long as you make money, baby. Alright, so what we got coming out on the channel this week? On Monday, we have Sengoku Basara 4 Sumeragi Part 14 with me and Addy.
Actually, one of our more watched series right now. Somehow.
I mean, we're hitting a very niche space that doesn't get much content, especially in the West.
True. But like even then, most of the videos don't really get a lot of views, even for the channel standards, and at least one of them broke 10.
I see one now that's at 12, and the most recent one is at 9.
Yeah.
On Tuesday, King of Fighters 2002 UM. Say, Addy, what did we agree upon to do the next Friday night? Friday night, yeah. No.
Yes, we are going over to Woolies.
Yeah.
That
was a Freudian slip right there. What game did we agree to do the next fighting games are on?
We didn't really agree. I did boot up MK Armageddon because you said you wanted to do one of the 3D MKs. I booted it up on my PC, and then it ran out like 50 frames a second, and I was like, this game sucks anyway. So I don't really want to like judge it by even by underperforming even then.
How about we delay the video by the next one by a week then, because I have not put any time into Armageddon at all.
Sure.
Thank you. And on Friday, Castlevania, Lords of Shadow, and Symphony of the Night. It's a 2-parter in one part.
Yeah, it's not a 2-parter, it's
man.
a 2-gamer.
Yeah.
2 for 1.
And on Saturday, we all got together and tried to draw everyone's favorite fish pimp, Pablo.
Oh.
And I'm sure no one will recognize that name unless they watched a relatively old series of ours, but fuck you anyways.
From the bottom of our hearts.
From the bottom of our hearts. Oh, man. Alright. Pink, what you been up to this past week, man?
All right, not a lot of new things. I continued through my playing of Watch Dogs Legion. It's serviceable. I think in 20 years, that system could create a very, very, very good game. But for now, in the modern day, it's kind of restricted in a way. There's a lot of cool ideas, not a lot of stuff to do with them.
It needs somebody other than Ubisoft to take a shot at it.
Yeah, it's like it had potential.
There's a potential for creative ideas.
Yes.
But would you say
I think
that
maybe there were too many creative ideas for Ubisoft to handle?
Would you say that it fits more into the loads of content rather than the well-executed content?
Yes.
Okay. So, do you have any
Even
particular...
with the play as anyone tagline, even that sort of falls short, because there are basically 4 base character designs that you would be able to play as. You got adult male, adult female, grandpa male, grandpa female. That's it.
Oh,
even with that, I would have liked to see a little more variety. You know,
just
give us some
tad.
round boys or skinny rails.
There's not even skinny people?
No.
Skinny people have been out.
And it's just the dumbest thing, because there'll be characters that will basically be referred to, well, not referred to, their character abilities will be very bruiser type. You know, you'll meet people in like fight clubs and whatnot, and the way they try to get across that these are big muscular dudes is that they don't wear shirts, and that's it. But it looks even worse because, yeah, you can see that they're very defined with muscle definition, but their arms are still very twiggy like normal people. So even with that, you couldn't make a buff bodybuilder type character model.
Perfect.
So, like,
you know, I was going to joke that they're very defined with the muscle definition, but they're 4'2". But then I remembered, oh, that would be awesome, though.
You just get to play as Salvador from Borderlands 2. If he gets the dual-wield rocket launchers, the transformation is complete.
Ooh, that sounds lovely.
Yeah, they could have got more creative there. Like, why not add, add some, diversity there, too? Like, why not add, dwarfs or giant? People who suffer from dwarfism or gigantism.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Or since this is supposed to be a tech dystopia, why not go full all in with the cyberpunk and just put in freaking transhumanism shit? I want to be a cyborg. Like,
why not?
People with prosthetic limbs could absolutely work.
Give me a guy in a hover chair like Professor X.
also
and he still has melee moves while in the chair.
Yes.
Oh my god! Have either of you guys seen the X-Men game X-Men fighting game where Professor X was a character?
Yes, but I don't remember most of his moves.
Oh my god! X-Men Mutant Academy 2, I believe. Professor X was an unlockable character. He's in the fucking wheelchair, not even the hover chair, the fucking wheelchair, and he can't jump or duck. So, since he can't duck, by the way, that means he's just straight up vulnerable to, some moves that shouldn't work on everyone else. And most of his moves are just him, either vaguely slapping in front of him or trying to headbutt. Oh, man. Alright, so...
I need to find that game now and buy it. I need it.
It's on, the PS1.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Alright, do you have...
It's not going to be cheap, but I need it.
Do you have any particular standout examples of creative characters the game has given to you?
I like the ones that can spontaneously die.
What?
Yeah. So, basically, there's everyone in the game, quote unquote everyone, has a kind of special ability, quote unquote, Some don't, some do. Some have lots, some have only one, some have very few, etc. So what I found is that morticians, any mortician you find on the street, they will always have the unique ability to possibly die at any moment's notice.
Why?
I don't know, but it's the greatest thing ever, and I've made it my personal mission to recruit anyone that has a not permanent, the sudden death ability.
So it just makes them die suddenly.
Yes,
That
you'll
makes
be playing as a character, and then they'll just straight up die.
what are they just walking along and then suddenly they ragdoll and drop?
Yes, that's exactly what happens.
What the fuck?
Like I said, there was a lot of ambition going into this, but the execution, it
What?
could have been a lot better.
Just make it a trait where it says like has a heart condition or something. Why is it morticians?
Make it a condition where it says has a heart attack right now. Call an ambulance.
There are other characters. There are other. I've definitely come across other people in other positions that have the spontaneous death ability, but every mortician I've come across has that spontaneous death. So pretty interesting.
Why?
There's another trait called Death Wish, which is the same thing, I think, except I'm not sure what's different about it. If the character kills himself or something,
You get happy points.
maybe. So I haven't recruited anyone with the Death Wish ability, so I've yet to figure that out. But I'm definitely gonna Google it later because I'm very confused why they would possibly have two spontaneous death abilities with different names.
So is it just like a random chance they pull their gun out and put it in their mouth? Like
That's what I was wondering.
I am so confused right now. Okay, did you do anything else? Something a little more
Anything
logical.
A little more logical, yeah. I played Rainbow Six. First time I've done it since the Tachanka rework finally got released 9 months after they announced the rework.
Ooh, alright, how is he?
He's definitely buffed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's hit the gym.
So he operates a lot more like Smoke does, where his secondary gadget is a. You guys saw the flame grenade launcher, incendiary grenade launcher.
No, I didn't,
No.
but I'll
Granted,
take your word for it.
That was back in February when I posted it to the Discord, so you might have forgotten. But yeah, he has an incendiary grenade launcher, and he gets 5 of them, and I believe they last for 10 seconds. So in the closing moments of a round, if he's got all 5 of those incendiary grenades, he can completely wall himself off inside the objective rooms with his little walls of fire. So it's all area denial for Tachanka.
Okay,
And
so Capitao sucks now, is what you're telling me.
well, they're two entirely different operators in that they're offense and defense operators. So
Oh
it's
shit,
not
you're
like
right, I forgot.
yeah, Tachanka's not exactly taking his spot there.
Okay. Capitao didn't
But
need
yeah, the Capitao buff rework several months back, maybe a year back or more. That was basically them testing out, hey, can we do something different with fire? Okay, we can. Okay, let's give this new thing to Tachanka because he really needs something.
some. Alright.
So
Oh no, go ahead, continue.
his mounted LMG is no longer mounted. That is his new primary weapon. He also has the option to use a Russian SMG that he always had, which is the better gun. Go ahead, Daddy.
Is it the sausage or was that the shotgun? I forget.
That was a shotgun. They removed the shotgun for reasons I'm not entirely sure. But the LMG would basically. I think they removed the shotgun because the LMG does a lot of wall damage and it has a very large magazine capacity where you can basically tear down walls without the need for a shotgun. So I guess they figured, hey, let's just remove this because it's kind of redundant. But I would have preferred them to leave him with that option because I do enjoy shotguns. They are quite fun to use. And I think they've buffed them recently where the spread is a lot tighter. Because I was playing with Gordon, yesterday or the day before that, and I went to blast down some walls to create some rotation holes. And I fired an entire magazine into the wall, and it's got like a bunch of little holes in it, but it's not taking everything out like it used to. I'm like, what the heck? And upon further testing with the shotguns, it's like, yeah, it definitely feels like they tightened the spread because they're not completely tearing out walls anymore. I can incapacitate operators from a significant distance away, so I'm not sure if that's intentional because I definitely did not see anything in the patch notes regarding shotguns. But I don't know, with this new operation that they dumped on us, shotguns are very, very good right now because they're almost like sniper rifles. It's wild.
Okay, I mean, tighter shotgun spreads is worse for opening up murder holes, but I'm of the opinion that tighter shotgun spreads feel better, like, in terms of gunplay.
Absolutely.
Like, to me, the best
It doesn't feel like you're left up to random chance if you'll actually be able to down an opponent or not.
Yeah, and I mean... sorry to interrupt, I just wanted to...
No problem.
I just wanted to say, like, speaking personally, Payday feels like it has the best shotguns and FPSs, and those shotguns feel good because of their tight spread.
Right.
Do you have anything else to say? Because Soon is also trying to carry a conversation on with me on Steam messages.
Oh, all right. I don't think there's anything new to talk about with Rainbow Six. Tachanka rework, it's a rework, and it works very effectively. Shotguns got buffed. Jaeger got nerfed again, where they're actually nerfing his ability now instead of his guns and armor. So that's good to see that they finally acknowledged that it wasn't the operator itself, but the equipment he was bringing along. Yeah. So now his little ADSs, they do get infinite charges, but there's a delay in how many projectiles it can zap out of the air now by, I want to say, 10 seconds. So if you group all three of the ADSs in a room, it will be able to take out 3, let's say, stun grenades or what have you, and then it'll need 10 seconds to recharge. And that's more than enough time to give the attackers more options in dealing with those. So it's a very good nerf. It was much needed. It was needed a year ago, but I don't know. Somebody on the team just couldn't figure out that it was the utility that he brought that made him so overpowered. And I think Wamai, Jaeger number 2, he got a slight nerf as well. I don't remember what they did with him. I think they decreased the number of magnets he had by 1 or 2, but I could be wrong. But it seems that all the things they have done have made it, because they've introduced so much, so many more gadgets on the defensive side that are destructible and, well, need to be destructible because they're not they are bulletproof. They need frag grenades in order to get rid of them. So I'm thinking that's what the reworks with Jaeger and Wamai really came from. The need to have the attackers not be completely crippled by the fact that they're always going to have their frag grenades zapped out of the sky by Jaeger and whatnot.
Yeah.
Because the defenders had way too much utility going on. They could set up so much. And it was really lopsided against the attacking side for quite a while. So hopefully this rework gets it more in line with 50 to 50% chances of winning on either side. Things are probably always going to be defender sided because they've got the much easier job. But for now, it's a very much needed change, and I think it's a very well done change from what I've played through. So outside of Rainbow, a lot of Guilty Gear. Like I said earlier, I actually learned how to do the what is it? There's an actual name for it. I don't recall, but I was able to do the special moves and the instant kill moves with Biken the other day,
Whoa.
which I kind of stumbled upon by accident. So I did her special move by accident. I was like, wait a second, what was that? So I tried to do it again and actually got it off a second time. I was like, okay, let me go into the little menu thing and check all the inputs and whatnot. And her instant kill is the same directional pattern as the special,
Yes.
but with a different button.
Yes.
So I was like, hey, wait a second. If I can do the special, I can do the instant kill. So I went and I practiced and I actually got an instant kill off. I was like, oh man, I feel so powerful.
Yeah.
I'm learning. I can only do the specials and instant kills with Biken, but
No, you
I'm
can do
learning.
No, brother, you can do that. You can do the instant kills with everyone except Order, Soul, and Dizzy. Because they've all
they all
got
the
the same
same?
inputs. Except
Oh,
for Order, Soul,
perfect.
and Dizzy.
Perfect.
Yeah, Order Soul. I posted it in the Discord. Order Soul's freaking insta kill is
Yeah.
just touching your face against the controller and praying.
Oh man. So yeah. Learning Guilty Gear, it's a lot of fun. Probably the most fun I've had with fighting games since Soul Calibur 2 way back in 2001.
Ooh, that's a high mark.
Yeah. High mark, but I think it's well deserved. Granted,
Alright.
I don't play a lot of fighting games, but this is one of the more fun ones I've ever played.
You know,
But
I'm
it's
kind
mostly
of
due to
proud.
Biken.
I'm kind of proud that I spent like the two of us spent so much time rapping Guilty Gear to Pink, because now that he's played, he's also become a fan, and we we didn't need shit with it. So, hey. But yeah, like Pink, that's the like this learning the character part is basically the most fun part of fighting games. I mean, showing off is cool, and showing off is fun. But to be able to show off, you need to actually learn the character first. So you need to make learning the character also fun.
Very true.
And it's basically why I play a shit like basically as many different fighting games that I can stomach at least, because you know I could actually learn how to be. In theory, I could learn how to be like competitively or whatever competitive level in any
Right.
one fighting game with one character. But to me, that's boring.
Variety
Because
is the spice of life.
yeah, evil is the spice of life, just like Google says.
Yeah, and when you do sit down with just one game, variety is still the spice of life. So you try out different tactics with each character and so on.
Yeah, and I actually read someone put it better than I ever could, that one of the pros of learning multiple fighting games at once is that if you get burnt out, or even if you don't get burnt out, if you just play different games back to back for like I don't know, like a week, you spend 1 week on one game and then switch to another, then the second game you will play differently than you would have before. And if you go switch back to the first game, then you will play that game different than before you switch to the second one. There's always, well, not always, but most of the time, there's enough transferable skill between fighting games that if you like, even if the games don't have exactly the same mechanics, just the stuff that you learn by default of just playing a game can be transferred to another game and be used as a different tactic to mix people up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very true. But not in Smash. Don't hold back in Smash because it doesn't make you shield.
No.
Learned that the hard way.
There's
All right,
transferable skills in
yeah.
Smash, but not that. Alright, anything
I think
else?
that was about all I did this week.
Alright. Eddie.
So I accidentally speedrun Strider.
Yay! Did you get a
I
world
don't know.
record?
No.
Damn.
from what I can tell, the world record is like 54 minutes, which seems plausible. Not with my set of skills, not with my set of skills and the way I played through, but it seems plausible. But yeah. So I just started up a playthrough on hard for the first time because I was like, oh well, whatever. I took a break from video games altogether. I'll give this a look and see how hard it is. I wanted to be challenged, I guess. And I just played through 2/3 of the game normally, and then I saw the achievement for beating the game in under 4 hours. And I looked at my time, and it was at 2 hours, and I've gone through 2/3 of the game.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah. So at that point, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna see if I just played through the game normally on hard, how fast I can get through it, which is apparently 3.5 hours.
All right.
And playing through the game normally, playing through the game normally, I mean like checking through all of the nooks and crevices to try and find upgrades and shit, because this is a Metroidvania.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that like sometimes I forget that. All right, I actually do play video games like most of the time. So in theory, I should be good at least.
It
But-
depends. It switches from game to game. Some games, the dozens of years, and it's like, wow, I still suck at this.
Yeah. But it actually turns out that I've been playing through, like, even though I've only played through the game on easy, turns out I've been playing the game on hard mode. Because here's the thing. Hard changes the enemy's health and how much health they take off with how much of your health they take off with their attacks. But there's this whole subsystem where you can summon animals, like in Marvel and in the old games,
Yeah.
where you can summon any animals to do attacks. I've played through the game 4 times before this. I never used it. I played through the game vanilla without any of the actual upgrades that you get through the game.
Oh my god.
So,
oh my god.
so that probably explains why I can go through the game in freaking 3.5 hours on hard.
All right.
Because I only ever actually used the freaking like the sword upgrades that you get and the kunai upgrades, because the kunai you need to use to get past the levels anyway.
Okay.
But the other upgrades you get, you actually need to remember the button combination to get them out in combat, and then otherwise it's just one button to press them when the context sensitive button is in place.
All right.
So yeah, that was funny. And then I also became the local SNK boss, I guess. Or at least as close to it as I can get right now with the freaking the whole lockdown.
Okay. What do you mean?
Explain.
My
Explain yourself.
my oldest sister's husband now was into video games once upon a time. And so he's bought Street Fighter 4 to try and train himself to beat me in fighting games. Bad idea, but I mean, after that many years, then like according to himself, he never actually played fighting games, so it's an uphill battle. But hey, once he beats me, then it will be that much sweeter. So
Yeah.
I won't discourage him. But yeah, so they came over a couple of days ago, and he was like, I want to play a fighting game against you. So I went, okay, choose. And
choose your death.
yeah, because I've already beaten him in Unist and
Hey,
Street
hey,
Fighter
I wanna-
4.
Hey, I want to try that Guilty Gear against you. He chose poorly.
No, not yet. He hasn't chosen Guilty Gear yet. No, he chose KOF 14.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. So, after I explained to him the controls, and then he didn't listen.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I whenever we try to introduce new people to fighting games, I try to explain the controls if I know that they don't know them, because, well, it's courtesy or whatever.
Yeah.
So I tried to explain the controls. I gave him time to actually figure them out, and then he was like, "Okay, don't explain the specials. I just want to beat you with normals, I guess," and just jumped at me. and I reacted accordingly. And after about 5 matches of him taking down like maybe one of my characters, my sister jumped in, who hates video games, fighting games especially. But she was like, "Okay, well, you're making my husband mad, so I'll try." She got farther. She actually learned how to throw a fireball with Iori, which is more than her husband can say.
Oh my god.
And by the end of that day, they knew the wrath of Sylvie Pola Pola. Let me tell you what, brother. So yeah, long story short, I am banned from ever playing Kyo, Sylvie, or who was the third one? I forget. There was a third character that I'm banned from playing again if we play KOF 14 again.
Geese?
Because that was too strong.
Strunk. Too much strunk.
Drunk boy.
Eventually, they're just going to restrict you to Ralph and like some other two guys.
Yeah.
Just find the two characters you never fucking play.
Oh yeah, I know the third guy that got banned. It was Choi. Because past that point,
I would ban Choi just after looking at him. So
yeah. Oh no, they tried using Choi against me first. I even explained how to use him properly, and then they were like, "No, he sucks. You're lying." So I showed them, and then Choi was banned. But yeah, that was a funny couple of sets, and both of them left angry.
See, whenever I play fighting games against people who don't know how to play fighting games, I pick the character I'm worst with on the roster.
I do that as well.
Oh no!
That's the thing. Like, after a while, they were just like, "Okay, pick your best character," which is why I picked Sylvie, because Sylvie is shit easy to play. Like before then, like I think because when I play fighting games against new people, usually I either pick my mains and then try to go easy on them with my mains, so that they can have an easier time beating me with my mains and then give them an ego boost, or I go with characters that I don't know and then I try using them somewhat, like to as much as I know, maybe a bit less depending on the character, I guess. But so I went with my actual main team and
I don't know about you, but I never feel good winning with Choi Bounge. Or Choi Boungi.
Bunge.
And you shouldn't either.
I mean, hey, I get to play Marvel.
Yeah. Oh god.
Oh, that was another one they chose, by the way, before.
I mean, to be fair, that one feels like you get to press more buttons, so you get more value.
I suppose. I don't think they felt like they got to press more buttons though, because Virgil appeared on screen at least once. I actually never use Virgil though, because I feel like he's cheap.
I love Virgil, but yeah, Virgil is not a character you should pick against people who are new.
Yeah.
Don't pick Virgil against newbies. Do not pick Sentinel or Dormammu against newbies. Who else should we go ahead and say don't pick them against newbies?
Doom, if you know leg combos.
Yeah.
Who else was like...
X-23 is not one that newbies like playing against. She can be a bit brutal.
Strange.
Yeah. Hawkeye can be a brutal one against newbies.
Magneto.
Basically, don't pick a Marvel character. Anyone on the Capcom side.
Captain America's fine.
Like anyway.
Captain America's fine, but that's because Captain America was pretty well designed like a Street Fighter character, so...
Yep.
Yeah, from what I remember, during that whole time we were playing Marvel, I was basically just like with Thor, Hulk...
Oh, wow. You know that you're pitying someone when you pick Thor.
Yeah.
I want to get good at playing Thor in Marvel 3 someday just to say I did.
One of my proudest moments still in Marvel is beating Goku's Virgil with Thor, of all people.
Oh boy, yeah. Did you have to use a lot of command throws to do it?
No. One time I just had more health than him, and he pulled me closer with his Stinger variant, and then I just jabbed him because he had one hit of health left. So that was one. And the other one was did like a really good setup with the whole team, where he tried jumping out of the combo of the air combo, and then I hit him with Thor's super, and that killed him somehow. I don't remember how.
Ow.
But yeah, so those happened, and then I guess now it's on to freaking my whining hour, which replaced the meme hour. It's been a feature for more than a month. It's officially the meme hour replacement now, I guess.
Yes.
So the two of you will know that I've been complaining about a lot of stuff off of recording, and sometimes even on recording. And I've been trying to figure out the root of this whole thing, because I could try salvaging or whatever. Like I could try, what's the word I'm looking for? Like fixing the surface issues, but if I can uproot it, then that's better. And it's weird. So first, I thought this whole thing was just being a furry, and how that's weird. And then it seemed more like it was how I have like a negative body image and that whole thing, which is still a thing, by the way. But
Yeah.
both of them are dwarfed apparently by well, actually, I need to do a bit of window dressing before we get to that. So remember how during the forest recordings that we did for this October, I was like, oh, I have two speeds, I guess. Or I don't know. One where I'm really cocky and full of myself and think I'm better than everyone and all that, and then I have one where usually no, which is usually the one I show in videos where I break myself down just so that that part isn't too apparent and I don't become too obnoxious.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those two halves are fighting right now. And that's basically why I've been having troubles for like, well, it's been vocally for a month, and then overall for like 4 months now. 3 or 4 months.
Probably about a good 3 or 4 years ago, Ted told a friend of ours, Steve, Brandon Steve, not Poop Steve,
Yeah, not vicious Steve.
fake it till you make it in regards to confidence, because our friend Brandon Steve, well, this would have been more than 4 or 5 years. This would probably have been 5 or 6 years ago. But regardless, I don't think that really took for Steve, but I tried it out. Just like emphasizing to myself what I'm good at and like telling myself how awesome I am. And despite everything, as stupid as it sounds, because I try to be a very logical person, so the moment Ted said that, I was like, that sounds fucking stupid. I don't even know what got me to try it at all, because it sounds stupid. But it did wind up working, and for a little bit it made me an asshole, but I managed to get that under control. And you guys were there for the asshole part. In fact, I think, Addy, you caught the worst brunt of it. But
Maybe.
you and
Yeah.
you and Clown both caught it. And like that part, like I've gotten a lot better about not being an asshole to people, because I've started to really focus on a quotation from Neil Gaiman's Sandman, which, Pink, you've still not gotten around to reading Sandman, right?
I have not.
There is
Makes me sad.
yeah, oh my god, I'm pretty sure that for Christmas I'm getting the first volume like hardback, and it is going to be the pride of my bookshelf.
Oh, nice.
Let me pull up the quote, because I got to. But it's a quote that I love, and whenever I try to be nicer to people, I always have to think about it. And basically, just people rarely, if ever, live up to their potential, but they've got potential. Okay, here's the quote. It's a line from Sandman. It's dialogue from Sandman. And it's, everybody has a secret world inside of them. All of the people of the world, I mean everybody. No matter how dull and boring they are on the outside, inside them they've all got unimaginable, magnificent, wonderful, stupid, amazing worlds. Not just one world, hundreds of them. Thousands maybe. And I really like that quote and generally try to keep it in mind in regards to the way I treat other people. And it can be really hard because some people are fucking stupid and people are fucking assholes and it feels like they deserve nothing more than, you know, a fucking five-knuckle sandwich, right?
All right.
Yeah, a five-knuckle shuffle in their face.
No, not that. Not that. No, they don't. But it's, So yeah, that's what I generally try to keep in mind in life is, like, be high on myself and know what I'm good at and be proud of who I am and be confident with who I am, but at the same time, know that other people could potentially be good as well, you know?
Yeah.
Even if they failed to meet their best potential, there's still, as long as they're still drawing breath, there's still potential there, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, fuck, at this point I've forgiven Steve Austin for beating up Deborah, and on this forum, that's a really hard opinion to pull.
Yeah.
Don't forget, I remember yesterday during the recording with Mike, though, I did say, I don't forgive him for being a shit wrestler, though. He's still a shit wrestler.
That was truly unforgivable.
I mean, you can go back and watch the tapes now, and he's just as bad now as he was then, so hey. Austin's changed his, like, personal, like, conduct, but Austin, like, he doesn't wrestle now, and I can't imagine he's gotten any better in that regard.
No, I highly doubt it. He may have gotten worse.
I can't imagine podcasting has improved his skill at throwing fucking limp-wristed punches. And stomping mud holes! He's stomping a mud hole, Kang! Alright.
But yeah, so, like, I don't know, because as I've said off recording, I'm pretty sure that was, but whatever. I don't have an freaking thing against opening up about shit like this when I feel comfortable, because people will judge me regardless. Who gives a shit about what they judge me for? But yeah, like the thing is, I care about like other people's opinions on me. I don't know why. I don't want to. I just do. And so being obnoxious is like the exact opposite of the thing I want to be. But at the same time, like because of being an epileptic and shit like that, a part of my childhood was just sort of non-existent. And so like the obnoxious part of me is sort of just like is I guess me trying to live out being a freaking like rebellious teen or whatever. I don't fucking know. That slipped out real hard. Anyway. But yeah, so that and it's actually like real. I don't know how to put it in particular, but this whole conflict is just like me like it is in part because I also have no freaking clue who I am anymore. Like I haven't for years now, but it hasn't been on issues yet. I don't know why it suddenly became an issue.
You're like I said this a couple podcasts ago, and it was very presumptuous of me to say it, but I'll go ahead and repeat it anyways. But you are like, you and me are both getting to about the ass end of being a teenager, basically.
Yeah.
Like, even Pink to a lesser degree, because Pink is still technically at a age where his brain hasn't fully developed yet.
It may never fully develop, knowing me.
Well, hang on. The way you phrased that, you tried to make it sound like you're stupid, but the way you phrased that instead made it sound like your brain is going to continue growing perpetually.
It isn't.
And
Pink is the brainiac.
We're going to be conducting a podcast 40 years from now, and Pink will have to conduct it from the fucking MODOK chamber.
We'll be recording shit with Pink's built to like freaking natural like CPU or whatever.
Me and Addie are having to be like regular humans podcasting, and Pink is just like an ascended 17th level intelligence.
I mean, shit, at that point, I'm forcing him to freaking like go into robotics so he can make me a freaking like natural moving freaking cybernetic fairy tale.
It's bold of you to think that he
I'm-
can't change reality with his mind at that stage.
True, very true.
Just anytime someone bothers Pink with any kind of question whatsoever, he just goes, delete, and then they cease to exist.
There goes my problems.
but they all do the Spider-Man scene from freaking Infinity War. Mr. Puff, I don't feel so good.
Shit, what were we talking about?
Personal issues, yeah. Unfun things.
Personal issues can be fun. Come on now, everybody now, just gather around and laugh. No?
Ha 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 ha.
Well, we at least got Titus.
Shit. The worst part is that actually is the point of that scene. Titus is depressed and they're doing the fake laugh to start laughing for real.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, bloody hell.
Ain't that game something special?
Yeah. Oh, anyway.
Speaking of characters getting I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark.
Yeah. Oh. Where do we go from that? I guess I'll close up this whole thing. So, even though I haven't actually really started working on getting the first song I wrote together, because in part because the lyrics are kind of shit and need a couple rewrites, and in part because I don't really have the resources to actually do like beats and shit. But despite that, this whole realizing that it's these two halves are fighting. I don't know how to put it better, because I feel like it makes it sound like I'm trying to act like I have some sort of personality disorder or whatever. Like, but I don't feel like it. On bad days it feels like I'm two guys cut in half and then stitched together. Two guys that they dislike each other in particular, but you know.
Right.
But like,
It's less two personalities and more two different things that you want conflict.
yeah, and
you want to be proud of
it's
yourself, but at the same time, you have a hard time seeing how you can be proud of yourself without being an asshole, and you want to not be an asshole.
It's not even just being conflicted over that. It's conflicting things on everything, basically everything. It's only the petty shit that doesn't matter that the two halves can agree on. Like Assassin's Creed was good, and that's the thing that they agree on, because it doesn't freaking matter. It's a piece of entertainment that nobody will remember in like 30 years. But like,
I don't know. I think
When
people
it-
are probably going to remember Assassin's Creed, honestly.
probably. I mean, they've milked it enough for it to be at least in a thing of like, don't do this to your series, please. But yeah, like when it comes to the actual like important stuff, like who I am exactly or how I present myself, I guess is more of the depressing matter. Like there's just no freaking agreements. It is it, it is the 2020 political standings.
Oh no!
But yeah, like like
Everything's
I-
on fire!
yes, an apt description. But like I'm having a hard time making compromises with myself somehow.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right. The thing I wanted to finish. Yeah, so despite not having actually finished working on the first song, I was compelled to write a second one, because the only real way for I guess my subconscious and my conscious to have a discourse is through writing songs, I guess now. I don't know. But it was actually really interesting to see, because when I put together the first draft for verse and stuff like that, I'm not particularly paying attention to the thing I write, more than it rhyming and making sense in a context. But I don't actually try to understand what the words mean.
Yeah.
And so, like, because of that, sometimes things that I don't even think about slip through. And so it's the main conflict of me, according to what I wrote most recently, is just the thing of consciously I don't want to be known because I like not having to deal with people and shit like that because I'm bad at it. But at the same time, subconsciously, my biggest fear is just not being known, which is an interesting thought.
They're opposite rational fears.
Yeah,
Because being famous seems like in some ways it could be fun and it could introduce you to interesting people, but at the same time we know that fame can be a very dangerous proposition.
yeah. So I don't know how long this shit will go on. I hope not for much longer because it's like I don't know. I don't think it's pride the thing that makes me not want to hassle you guys with stuff like this. But it just feels like I'm being a hassle to deal with. Now I'm also forcing the two of you to baby me around and like
No,
expecting you to move mountains while I do nothing. So
I haven't had to do anything. Is this supposed to be hard?
I don't know.
It's actually been pretty easy, honestly.
I mean that's good to know that I'm not a nuisance, but
You're definitely not. And there's nothing wrong with relying on other people.
yeah, sometimes it just feels like I'm when we do like in particular with the volume of how much I've been talking about stuff like this in the past month, it just feels like I'm trying to load all of my problems on the two of you to figure out, and then I'm just like sitting back.
I
mean,
would
what,
rather you unload your problems on us and have to keep it inside you internally and just suffer alone.
I can tell you the issue you were just talking to about where you've got the confident side of you versus the part of you that doesn't want to be an asshole. That one's real easy for me to comment on because I was going through it 4 or 5 years ago. So, it's like, been there, done that, alright.
But yeah, I think that's all I've done.
Alright! You know, I feel like I watched a movie, but I can't recall watching a movie this week. So, I'm going to go ahead and say I haven't. Most of what I've been doing this week, actually, has been, for one thing, getting the Christmas shopping done, and I am done for Christmas shopping unless I get the sudden inspiration to go and buy something for somebody. I am done for Christmas
well
shopping. And I think everyone in the family is, so there's going to be like a good solid 2 weeks of the tree being full. And us trying to keep the dogs from opening the gifts ahead of time. Oh, man. Most of my week has been spent generally either trying to clean up the situation with the cat, which is a serious problem because ever since we brought in the new puppy is cute, but the new puppy is also a fucking menace, and the cat is still pretty well locked to one room, and we're trying to hash out how to deal with that. And the cat's getting a whole new host of hygiene issues, so I've spent quite a bit of this week cleaning up cat vomit and cat shit. So that's fun. Actually, after this recording ends, I'm actually going to have to clean up more cat shit, believe it or not. In case you guys were curious, you know, I know you guys are real interested in that. Would you like me to regale you with the details of the cat shit?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Tell me about how much of its mass is made up of different things in percentages.
Mostly liquid. Mostly liquid.
Well, that's not good.
Yeah. A lot of it's
That's
sticking to her.
Terrible.
Yeah. So, in news that isn't disgusting, most of my week has been devoted to playing through as the Wood Elves in Total War Warhammer 2. The Wood Elves, up until December 3rd, were one of the 3 or 4 worst handled factions in the game. They had a very interesting roster of units in the actual battles, and those were a lot of fun to play around with. They were very different. They don't play like just about any other faction in the game, but the problem was that the campaign sucked ass. There were limited mechanics, and what mechanics there were encouraged you to take up very weird playstyles. The Wood Elves are supposed to be isolationists in the Warhammer lore, but the campaign mechanics encourage you to either be fucking crazy-ass conquering maniacs who just go and take over everything, or alternatively make alliances and be friends with literally everyone. neither of those strategies are very isolationist.
No.
So they overhauled the entirety of the Wood Elves campaign. Now it looks absolutely fucking nothing like it used to, which I'm fine with because the way it was handled in the past was really bad. And it is handled so well that it is the longest I stuck with a campaign. I made it 160 turns in. I got to the final battle, and the final battle was like, alright, you need to beat 4 big, tough armies of beastmen with 1 army. And I was like, you know what? This ain't my kind of difficulty. Total War Warhammer has a lot of fundamental problems in regarding how it handles difficulty that I will be making a video at some point in the future talking about. I will not get in depth here because you guys do not know, like, Total War Warhammer. Nor does it, like, really affect you guys, I think. All I'll say is the difficulty in Total War Warhammer is handled in such a way that it discourages you from using creative thought or interesting strategies or learning, and instead just encourages you to find the cheapest, cheesiest, strongest units and just use them. And that's,
five stacks of 5 million skeletons from Heroes 3, I see.
yeah, pretty much. Just replace the skeletons with archers that run away, and you've got it. Yeah. And other than that, most of my week has been spent either recording one thing or another, or doing work around the house, or Christmas. So I don't think I've got too much to talk about on that front. But you know what? I do want to bring up something that's just gonna go over it real quick.
Tobey Maguire is apparently in the new Spider-Man movie.
Yes. Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield and apparently Kirsten Dunst and Emma Stone and fucking Jamie Foxx and Alfred Molina. And I mean, the question always was, how could they handle the Sinister Six, right? Because that's 6 different villains they'd have to set up, right? Well, apparently the easiest way is just take the fucking villains from the past movie universes. And I mean, yeah, people are going to have a seriously hard time being sold on anyone other than Alfred Molina as Doc Ock, because he was pretty well, like, one of the best casting choices of the Raimi trilogy.
Yeah.
So fuck it, just bring him back. It's like how J. Jonah Jameson, they knew they couldn't do better than J.K. Simmons, so they just hired J.K. Simmons again.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just want the new.
Not broke. Don't fix it.
I just want the new scene where all of the feeders dressed in black and do the dancing through the street thing.
Yes.
Together.
I feel like that could actually happen, honestly.
Like I want that, and I also want them to include a thing of pizza time with the music.
There's going to be some memes regarding Tobey's Spider-Man, if they're bringing Tobey's Spider-Man back at all, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. They know.
Like, the Raimi trilogy has become the second biggest meme movie series only after the Star Wars prequel trilogy. It's a bit crazy. The odd man out is going to be Garfield, because they're going to be like, hey, it's that guy.
He's also here.
It's this Spider-Man that nobody went to theaters to see. Yeah, remember that?
It's pretty
boy, I just thought of like the biggest freaking disrespect they could have done to Garfield though.
What's that?
What if they just hired a new dude to portray Miguel, and then it's a tie with 2099? Instead of getting the 3 movie Spider-Mans, you get the 2 ones that people remember. Also a new guy.
I mean, Oscar Isaac did get to voice Spider-Man 2099 in Spider-Verse. But isn't Oscar Isaac working on being Moon Knight instead now, supposedly?
Yes.
Okay. Speaking of which, they announced way too many TV shows.
Oh, they announced all the TV shows. I couldn't even keep up with it. Did you see all the Star Wars shows that they announced?
Oh my god, I looked at it and I was like, do we really need 10 fucking TV shows?
Right?
Do we need a TV show for... Do we fucking need a TV show for that one side character from Rogue One?
Apparently we do.
What the fuck?
I still have yet to get any further than episode 1 of The Mandalorian.
I haven't got any further than episode 3.
Season 2 is out currently. It's still getting released weekly or something like that. I was like, oh, hey, they're unveiling new Star Wars shows on their Disney Plus thing. That's cool. Let me check it out. I opened up the little link, and then I'm met with a gigantic wall of just Star Wars posters all over the place. I'm like, what the heck is this?
I hope you're ready for live action Asuka.
Yeah. Who's that?
Yeah, Rosario Dawson is playing Asuka in live action.
That's cool.
She's getting she's getting introduced in season 2 of Mandalorian, but after that she's getting her own show.
That's
again.
Yeah. I don't envy her having to sit down for makeup every day of filming. That seems like it ought to be fun for her.
Oh yeah.
Like at this fucking point, like I am shocked they actually didn't announce a Darth Maul TV show, honestly.
Wait, okay. This is a meme pic. Did they announce a Darth Raven TV show? Are they making a freaking series out of KOTOR?
No, but I think they are doing something that's going to bring KOTOR back into canon.
Ah.
So Darth Raven is back to being canon, but we don't know if he's got a TV
I
show.
haven't even heard one though. Shit.
What's that?
So what if a season 2 of the Mandalorian reps or whatever, like one of these series reps, if we just get a teaser for Star Killer?
I mean, fucking.
No.
I mean that the actor that played Starkiller has spent the remaining years playing Darth Maul anyways, so fuck it.
I didn't like Starkiller.
I
never played those games.
Yeah, I like the gameplay. I wish they made more of those gameplay wise. The story could have been better, yeah.
Oh man, remember that time period where every video game protagonist had to be bald?
Yeah.
We've got such cool new pretty graphics, but we can't handle hair. Bald. You're
Actually,
bald.
I'm lying. Actually, I'm lying because I don't remember that time that everyone was bald because I skipped that time. I was playing PlayStation 2 during that time.
Yeah.
I only bought an Xbox 360 once the Xbox One was released. So hey,
I've never owned a 360. Makes me a little bit sad.
Oh man,
I don't even know what I'd do with it if I had it though.
yeah, I'm in a similar way with the PS3 because I want to get a PS3 because I could play CVS 2 and also all of the Sengoku Bastards before 4, and that's basically all I would play because there's nothing else on the PS3 for me.
Mm-hmm.
There was something else I wanted to bring up.
Did you see all the Marvel shows they announced as well?
Oh my god. Well, Moon Knight's getting a show, but we already knew that.
Yeah. Dog, he posted a full list of all the movies and TV shows that got announced at their Disney investor event the other day. And I skimmed through it because a lot of the things that I saw offhand, I really didn't agree with. Because I think he opened up by saying Captain Marvel 2 will feature the cinematic debut of Kamala and Monica Rambeau. And I don't like that because I feel like that's putting 2 extra Captain Marvels or Miss Marvels into Captain Marvel 2.
To be fair, they may just be trying to get rid of Carol.
Yeah. I don't agree with that decision at all. I would have much preferred Carol got her own solo outing, a legitimate solo outing, because even her first movie, you had Nick Fury tagging along for that.
And it's not even getting into
which was great. I loved it, but it still, what's that?
It's not even also not even getting into how Kamala in the comics finally meets Carol, her idol, and she's like, "Oh my God, Carol Danvers! I'm so happy to meet you." And then she finds out Carol Danvers is just an abject piece of shit, and she's like, "Actually, you know what? I hate Carol Danvers."
Never meet your heroes, kids.
I'm gonna be a better Carol Danvers now, also bigger.
Literally bigger. She just grows fucking
bigger. I still think Miss Marvel is a stupid character. Never made sense.
Kamala grows to the size of a kaiju, eats Carol Danvers for her powers.
Jesus Christ. What were you saying, Pink?
I never liked the Miss Marvel Kamala Khan character because it never made sense for her to idolize Miss Marvel, who was never any more than a B-list hero. It wasn't until 2012 when they made her Captain Marvel
I
that
mean, Chris,
Marvel really, really went hard into the paint, trying to push her to the quote-unquote main event.
Chris Claremont's always idolized Carol Danvers.
So have I, but there's never been any reason to make it canon where, hey, this stupid kid over here really, really, really loves this superhero, and she's gonna kind of take up the mantle of it when something happens. I don't know why she takes up the Miss Marvel mantle.
All right,
I
but
mean,
hear me out.
copyright, but I don't know the in-canon reason.
I mean, there's a good stretch there where Carol Danvers was the most important female Avenger,
Mm-hmm.
and Kamala's not.
No, that's not true because Wasp was. No, wait, they probably killed Wasp at that point.
Yeah, Wasp would have been. Wasp spends more time dead than alive nowadays.
That is true. How sad. Oh, the mighty have fallen.
Kamala loves all the superheroes. It's just that Carol is her favorite, and I think she takes up the Miss Marvel name just because when she initially gets her powers, she accidentally shapeshifts into Carol. Because Carol
that's
was
not
on.
weird.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's super weird. Well, it's especially weird because even though she's shapeshifting, she somehow knows that the ass floss suit is super uncomfortable. But I guess her clothes shapeshift with her. Comic book powers make no sense.
Unstable molecules. Everything's made out of them in the MCU. I was about to say MCU, but that's not what I'm talking about. In the Marvel universe.
It's Terrigen Mists this time. You gotta remember, she's an Inhuman, because that's great. Remember when Ike Perlmutter was like, yo, fuck the X-Men, here's the Inhumans?
Yeah.
Alright, but hear out this bitch. So a kid sees Daredevil just flinging in New York. Or whatever the hell Daredevil does. I never read Daredevil. But Daredevil does Daredevil things, and then kid sees him, pokes his own eyes out, takes up a cowl, starts being a vigilante under the name of Mr. Devil.
To be fair, Miss Marvel has pretty well nothing alike with Carol. It's honestly like a kid gets the ability to shoot lasers out of his hands and also fart rainbows, and he's like, oh sweet, I'm the new Daredevil.
No, I'm the new Iron Fist.
Yeah. Iron Fist can shoot lasers out of his hands. What are you talking about?
Oh, true.
It's chi magic, bitch.
I'm the new Stilt Man.
Okay.
Even better.
Okay, I've got something to bitch about, because apparently one of the shows they revealed they're going to do is Ironheart, and there's no way there's no way Disney is going to have the balls to actually do the Ironheart storyline. Where she's like, yo, what if I just took over the world and made it better? And everyone else in the world is like, no. Where Ironheart, like, did you guys not pay attention to this?
No, that's the reason I said, oh no. The Ironheart storyline.
Yeah, Riri is basically a 13-year-old Doctor Doom. Like pretty well just that. And she's got a Tony hologram all the time going, Riri, no! And she's going, Riri, yes!
Yeah. I mean, just make that the movie.
Yeah.
Honestly, probably would cut down on the freaking budget. Just make it 2 scenes. You record her in the suit going really yes. You record Tony going really no as a hologram, and then you just in post add in like sound effects of people blowing up and screaming.
Yeah.
And that's the movie. That goes on for an hour.
Just back and forth while sounds of death and destruction in the background.
Yeah.
War Machine's getting a show. I hope you're excited.
I freaking love War Machine, the character, but
Don Cheadle is not the perfect roadie.
He's just completely lacking charisma for the character. And I have no idea why they chose Don Cheadle to begin with.
Because they needed someone more agreeable than Terrence Howard.
That is true, but like of literally anyone in Hollywood they could have picked, they chose probably one of the most bland, uncharismatic individuals to play a part of Robert Downey Jr., who at the time is one of the most charismatic actors in Hollywood. So, I mean, maybe they were hoping that the uh
Don Cheadle is a
what's the
good
word?
actor, but they threw a role at him that
He
relies.
is a good actor, but he's not the role. Yeah, like you said, that's not the role for him.
They threw a role at him that requires charisma more than it requires acting chops.
Yes.
Cheadle's got
Yes.
acting chops, but not charisma, right?
Right. He should be doing movies that are not a part of the MCU.
Well, I would say that Cheadle could have just played a villain.
I was, once I said outside the MCU, that's where my mind went. I was like, wait a second, he could have been a really good villain.
Cheadle could have been really good. Cheadle could have honestly been really good as Achebe. And Achebe is a Black Panther villain. He's this crazy ass cultist who's made a secret deal with Mephisto. And he basically just gathers like insurrectionists and Somalian pirates and all kinds of, ruffian types from around Wakanda and routinely invades Wakanda because they say, hey, you fuckers are sitting up in your golden palaces. Meanwhile, the rest of Africa lives in poverty. What's up with that?
Right. I like that. Oh, wasted potential.
Yeah, I mean, they'll probably do
Yeah.
Achebe down the line because Black Panther is very clearly the most, political intrigue focused of the MCU, and Killmonger was a very political villain. It'd be really weird if the next villain is just like, I want to take over the world!
Right.
I mean, they could do Doom, but even Doom has lots of interesting political statements to make, you know?
The man is a monarch. That's all. He's all politics.
Doom wants to take over the world, but it's because he thinks that he'd make the world better.
Yeah.
I would love to see them do the comic book bit where Doom runs into Bast, and Bast is like, yo, you can just have all the vibranium because you could actually save the world. And then T'Challa's like, why? Well, I guess in this case it'd have to be Shuri, but
Right.
Rest in peace.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which,
Yeah.
they did announce Black Panther 2 and that T'Challa will not be recast, so that means Shuri is the
Correct.
Panther, baby.
Yep.
They may do Casper Cole for a little bit, but there's no way Casper Cole is going to end the movie as the Panther.
Casper Cole is...
Casper Cole, there was a time period where T'Challa wasn't able to be Panther for some reason. I don't remember why. So he had a half white, half Hispanic guy fill in as the Panther.
Oh, is he one with the one that had the more street clothes type Black Panther look?
Yes. And
Okay.
after T'Challa came back to being the Panther, Casper Cole became like the White Panther or something.
Right.
Not to be confused with the White Wolf, who is T'Challa's adopted white brother, who's a traditionalist radical who wants to reinstall T'Chaka's original regime of fucking torture in Guantanamo Bay.
Right.
Fucking hell, why is there... T'Challa needs to get, these people under control, these, offshoots here.
He's kind of a terrible leader if you think about it. Doom never has these problems.
Yeah. T'Challa has got, a serious brand problem here. We got Black Panther, White Wolf. We have Black Wolf soon enough, too. We're not even getting into Shuri still running around, but she's not Black Panther anymore. She's just Shuri. Except that because she's going to become Panther in the movie, she's almost certainly going to become Panther in the comics now.
Right.
Oh, shit. Guardians Holiday Special, whoop-de-doo.
Yeah.
This reminds me of a funny comics question that I saw posed on the internet.
What's that?
This was just randomly under a post about Spider-Man. So the question was, is Spider-Man a furry? And I don't know why, but
I mean, spiders do have fur.
I mean, yes, but no. I don't know. I don't think of the spider costume as like a fursuit.
Well, there's no
Yeah.
fur on it, so...
No, but that's just a name. It doesn't need it to qualify, but still, it's like, I don't know.
Okay, the dank meme answer is yes. The honest answer is no, he's a luchador.
Yeah,
That is correct.
the dank meme's answer is not yet, but the honest answer is no.
Yeah. Okay, Christian Bale is not going to be playing Beta Ray Bill like everybody thought. He's going to be playing Gore the God Killer.
Who?
A very, 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 very scary, badass Thor villain who was introduced a couple years back. Let me get a picture of him. Marvel Gore the God Killer. I think this would actually work as a casting choice. I think Christian Bale could actually work for this character. He's very edgy. I should go ahead and warn you of that now. Let me.
I care about that.
Okay, here we go. Here's a picture of him fighting Thor.
Ah,
His whole thing is killing gods, and he thinks that if he kills a god, he absorbs the god's power.
Kratos.
Pretty much.
Kratos, but with the design of that one Phantom guy from Batman.
Okay, so Pink, correct me if I'm wrong here. Gore does turn out to be the bastard brother of Thor as well, correct?
Oh, I think this is a little out of my knowledge because how recent was this character? Because I have no recollection of Gore.
4 or 5 years ago, definitely during Jason Aaron's run on Thor.
Nope, I definitely have not read anything regarding Gore then.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and look it up because I feel like he is like. I feel like that they're getting Odin a little confused with Zeus sometimes. Oh no, it's not Gore the God Killer. It's Gore the God Butcher.
Ah. But looking at this picture more closely, I said that this guy looks like a Phantom dude from DC. No, he looks like Anti-Venom, but a cowboy.
You're not wrong.
Okay, no, he is not another bastard offspring of Odin. He is an alien whose parents died, and now he hates the gods. So it's still very Kratos.
Yeah.
And he acquired all black the Necro Sword. That's what? What is that anime weapon?
Yeah, in one of his hands, he has all black the Necro Sword. On the other, he has Ragnar the Blood Edge, the actual dude. By the way, despite playing 2 official games released by real companies, I still have a hard time believing that Ragnar the Blood Edge is not a parody character made for Mugen.
He sounds like a Sonic character, doesn't he? A Sonic OC, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, he got that all black the Necro Sword from Null, the crazy fucking evil god that made the symbiotes.
Ah.
What the fuck is going on in Marvel?
I don't know. I dropped when they introduced that symbiote god is when I dropped it. When I tried reading comics recently, which I think that was a good idea. Honestly.
Yep.
Okay, Gore also may have killed Odin Force Thor from the future. You know
Again?
Yeah. You know the future where Thor is the only thing left after Galactus ate the planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess Gore went forward into the future and killed him. Christian Bale
Well,
could
I guess
work.
he's not lonely anymore.
Yeah. Okay, Christian Bale could work this role. This would. I was laughing at Beta Ray Bill Christian Bale, but this one actually works for Christian Bale. You know.
I just want to know if this movie will have the Enchantress or not. I need to know whether I'm going to go see it.
It is titled Love and Thunder.
It better friggin' have her, otherwise somebody needs to be fired.
Oh,
and rehired so they can fire him again.
This guy's in Thor: Loving Thunder.
Yeah. Which means Taika Waititi is definitely going to turn him into a complete joke, but you know.
Yeah.
There's going to be a She-Hulk show that's going to have Mark Ruffalo as Hulk, and Tim Roth is coming back as Abomination for some reason.
Because why not?
I mean, I love Tim Roth, don't get me wrong, but I gotta say, I didn't expect them to bring him back ever.
Wait, no.
I didn't expect them to acknowledge that movie ever.
I mean, they brought back Bill Hurt as Thunderbolt Ross, so it was already canon.
When?
Bill Hurt has played Thunderbolt Ross in like 3 or 4 movies now.
Has he?
Yeah, he was in Civil War, he was in Infinity War, he was in Endgame.
Why do I have no recollection of this?
He's the one that was pushing the Superhuman Registration Act. And Rhodey had to follow orders from him, remember? And Infinity
I know exactly who you're talking about, but somehow, some way, I did not realize that was the same dude.
Yeah, it's
Oh
Thunderbolt
my
Ross.
goodness!
You'd never noticed that was Thunderbolt Ross?
No!
Like, it's a fucking general with gray hair and a mustache who hates superheroes. Like, it's pretty
Well,
well.
yeah, but there are lots of those.
Okay, fair. But the fact that they brought him back still gives me hope that they'll do Red Hulk just for laughs.
If they do Red Hulk, they better make Red Hulk retain the mustache when he transforms. That's the dumbest thing in all the comics.
I love that. I love when he keeps the mustache. Like, especially getting a very well-respected actor like William Hurt to play a very stupid character like Red Hulk, you know? Like, just get Oscar-winning actors playing stupid comic book roles is, like, one of my favorite things. It's part of why I was really hoping Christian Bale was going to play Beta Ray Bill, just because it's Christian fucking Bale playing Beta Ray Bill.
The horsey thunder god.
He's a fucking horse! She-Hulk will also probably see the return of Daredevil, or presumably Charlie Cox's Daredevil, because not only did Marvel just get the rights back, but also Kevin Feige teased them quite a bit. And it makes sense. Bring back the lawyer hero for another lawyer hero show, you know.
Yeah. If it's not Charlie Cox, I'm gonna quit. I don't know what I'm gonna quit, but I'm gonna do something and quit it.
Doctor Strange... oh, no, go ahead.
You know, the She-Hulk show reminded me, oh, well, She-Hulk used to be written like Deadpool, so maybe they could do a thing there. And then I was like, wait, Tobey Maguire is back to being Spider-Man, at least for one movie. Can we get a show that is Tobey Maguire Spider-Man and Ryan Reynolds with us Deadpool? Just doing Spider-Man and Deadpool things. Because I genuinely would watch that though.
So would I, honestly.
They've got to bring Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool back in sometime soon, you know? It's still a hot property.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're starting...
I think it's been confirmed Deadpool 3 is in production.
Yeah.
And so is Fantastic Four now.
Yes!
And I am unbelievably hyped for MCU Fantastic Four, honestly.
Same.
Like,
I've been hurt too many times.
We've received 4 terrible Fantastic Four movies, and now we have a chance to get a really good one.
Yeah,
I'm so stoked.
I'm going to be so happy to see the ever-loving blue-eyed Thing.
Yeah.
Like, I know we're past Hulk being angry, so we're not going to get Thing versus Hulk, but it would have been so cool. I feel like that's always one of the most lovable... It's always one of those things I love about Thing, that Thing is the guy who just gets called in when Hulk goes too nuts.
Honestly, I just want not shitty Silver Surfer.
Oh my god, Silver Surfer could be so fun if they handled it. Like, make it proper Stan Lee Silver Surfer, where he's wandering the universe, like, thinking about philosophy.
Right.
Yeah.
And not just, Galactus's bitch.
Mm-hmm.
And Doom! Oh! Doom!
Yeah.
Doom is... if you're not
Dr.
hyped for Doom, get out.
Hidden missiles!
All of them.
Foot!
So many feet.
Just too much foot. Not feet.
Yeah.
Foot. Singular
Foot.
foot. He's diving with foot, not feet. Foot.
Yeah, he's only using one of his feet because that's how much you're worth. Not even worth the full effort.
That'll be the day when there's a true threat if Doom deigns to use both feet.
Yeah.
Like, Thanos has arrived, Doom does the feet dive, and Thanos is killed instantly.
No. That wouldn't be enough because even Galactus only gets the foot. So we need a threat that's bigger than Galactus. Reed Richards.
Ooh, thinking about Doom just gets me hot and heavy, boy. Ooh.
I still want them to somehow, like, if they give the Fantastic Four movie to a guy that wants to turn it into a comedy, I at least want them to do a thing where he, like, just rips off the mouth part of his mask, turns it around, soldiers it back on upside down and starts calling himself Dr. Mood. He's just happy now.
It's going to be at least a little bit comedic. They got the guy who did Spider-Man Homecoming to do it. Spider-Man Homecoming was pretty solid. So
I didn't watch it. So
it had its flaws, certainly, but I mean, like, if there's any, like, Marvel characters that make the transition to comedy really well, I think it's the Fantastic Four, you know?
Yeah.
Because, like, the comedy can really emphasize the wholesomeness, which I think is really important to Fantastic Four.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I also saw a good suggestion for like this whole big everything crossing over with everything, the old movies with the new movies. Was someone suggested to have Chris Evans do both Captain America and Human Torch at the same time.
Man, I was thinking about what if they just have the original Fantastic Four come out of a portal or something, and just have the goofery of Chris Evans having to go back to playing Johnny. Like, hey, you know, for a decade we've been having you play, like, the most humble, good guy. We need you to be a jackass again.
That'd be wild.
I mean, that first choice for Reed was a good one. They could go with him again, and I wouldn't be mad. They definitely could not bring back Jessica Alba as Invisible Woman. Please, God, no.
Yeah, not likely.
And, like, Thing, you gotta find. I don't know, the original, the Thing from 2005 or whatever, he was alright, but I feel like they could do better.
They could do way better.
You gotta get the ever-loving blue-eyed Thing's mannerisms down right.
Right. Because I don't think 2000 whatever thing really had anything regarding Ben Grimm even close to similar. It's like, once CGI kicks in, I mean, that's half the work done, but it's like they didn't delve into anything that made Ben Grimm, except maybe his stubbornness.
What if they get CM Punk to portray Ben Grimm just to pay off his debt for using clobbering time in WWE?
That'd be terrible.
Yeah. Would there be enough CG to make him not look like shit?
Well, if you put him in a just full body green suit, yeah.
I suppose. Yeah.
To be fair, them hiring hiring a wrestler to play the Thing would actually work really well.
Trying to think who would be a good one to pull off.
Honestly, I think it'd be more on the voice acting side than anything. Though I guess it depends. They don't really need the person to actually be there mocapping, because Bradley Cooper doesn't mocap Rocket.
True, but I'm trying to figure out, would at any point down the line they need the human form of Ben Grimm back? Because eventually, one day, maybe it'll take a couple of years, but one day he's gonna go back to being Ben Grimm.
It's a classic comic book.
It's kind of his end game.
I was about to say, I don't think he should ever return permanently to being Ben Grimm, but I think it should be a big, you know, with great power comes great responsibility moment of, well, you can stay Ben Grimm, but X amount of people are going to die.
Yeah.
So I would think, yeah, they probably should go with someone who at least looks a little bit like Ben.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he should probably have hair.
I had the worst idea.
What's that?
So you have this like modern CGI, the Thing model and all that moving around, doing the stuff, and then when he turns back into just normal Ben Grimm, they literally use the model from freaking Shrek 2 for human Shrek.
And he wasn't that way to begin with, but when they turn him back, he becomes human Shrek.
Yes.
And he's like, what? You know what? I changed my mind. Turn me back into the Thing. I'd rather be that, honestly. I'll take the rocks.
For some reason, I want to yell about a donkey.
Oh, shit. You're not getting, like, New York enough for Ben Grimm, Addy.
I don't know how to mix like shitty Irish accent and also New York at the same time.
Oh!
get really drunk, I guess.
Yeah.
Did they announce anything else that's interesting?
They are still working on Blade with Mahershala Ali. Get hyped. I still don't know how they're going to be able to handle vampires in PG, but you know, or PG-13.
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
Trust them.
Everyone will have Triple H nose prosthetics that will have their own teeth.
Man, if they, I'd be so happy if they brought back Triple H just for one stupid role being a vampire.
Just one little cameo, I'd mark out.
But because years have passed, he has his short hair look and all that, and also he's holding like a fully formed large dog under his arm instead of the small dog in the.
That's not how Pomeranians work.
But it should be.
They just expand in size continually. I think it'd be funnier if the Pomeranian multiplied. Like you just see dozens of
them now.
Dozens of vampire Pomeranians crest the horizon. And Blade's just like, oh shit. Oh, that's gonna be a good question. Is Blade gonna still be American when they handle him in the MCU, or are they gonna make him British like he is in the comics?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Because I mean, Wesley Snipes, no way Wesley Snipes could have ever pulled off an English accent, but Mahershala Ali absolutely could.
I was about to ask what his ethnicity was. Is he? I'm assuming he's from America.
I'm going to assume America because I've only ever seen him play American characters, but I guess that's not evidence enough.
Right. Because I was thinking, like, already
Oakland.
We've had a lot of British actors.
Oakland.
A lot of... What's that?
Oakland, California.
All right. Yeah.
Super American.
So, that's an excellent question. They'll probably keep it American-based then.
Yeah.
There's no real reason to change it.
It'd probably confuse the shit out of people.
Yeah.
Oh, man. The sad thing is that Captain America has probably been retired as a character, so we won't get the great moment where Captain America and Blade are fighting vampires, and like somebody asks Captain America, holy shit, you're really good at fighting vampires, Cap, what the hell? And Cap says something along the lines of, you have no idea how many Nazi vampires I had to kill back in World War II.
Yep.
I love stupid bullshit sci-fi Nazis. What's the last thing? The last thing is, Ant-Man and the Wasp versus Kang the Conqueror. Kang the Conqueror, boys!
Yep.
Get hyped!
Mm-hmm.
They better give him purple skin.
Yeah.
And the helmet.
Absolutely.
And also, Doctor Strange 2 is going to cross over with Spider-Man 3, which is almost certainly the explanation for Maguire and Garfield.
Yeah.
Right.
I do think that is going to be the perfect way to handle the whole storyline of Spider-Man having his identity exposed, by the way. Which, spoilers for Far From Home, which I guess is a year old now, but whoops.
And if you haven't seen it, what is wrong with you?
It's a very good movie. Go watch it.
There's no excuse now.
Yeah. So, I think that's pretty well the perfect way to handle it, is introduce two elder Spider-Men who will advise Peter on how to handle the whole issue. Especially because, like, Tom Holland has pretty well gone the entirety of his tenure being loved by the public, and Toby went the entirety of his tenure being hated by the public.
Mm-hmm.
So Toby can be like, wow, you got to have 2 years of being loved? Lucky you. Count your fucking blessings, kid.
Toby spent all of his tenure being hated. Tom Holland had an easy time. Andrew Garfield, nobody remembers him.
Nobody noticed him.
Yeah, he'll be able to talk about how much it sucks not being recognized for actually helping people.
I have to imagine Garfield will. I was about to say I think Garfield will go the entire movie just talking about dead girlfriend, but no, they're bringing her back.
Yeah, they never should have killed her to begin with.
So
dumbest decision they ever made.
Yo, what if Emma Stone becomes Spider-Gwen?
Honestly, hype, but yeah. But the other thing I wanted to, what if we get not one but three Gwen Stacy's dying next to each other? in the same way.
Like, especially because Tom Holland never had his Gwen Stacy introduced in the first place.
Yeah.
Like, it's just some random blonde girl gets killed. Like, we see the Gwen Stacys from Maguire and fucking Garfield die again, and they're like, no! And then Holland's Gwen Stacy dies, and Tom Holland's just like, no, I guess?
Who was that? Did I know her?
Boy, that sucks for her. Hang on, I gotta look up. I don't remember who played Gwen for Garfield. Or not, for Maguire.
I know who it is, the name escapes me right now.
It was someone famous.
Yeah.
It was Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yes, that's the one.
I completely forgot about that.
How could you forget? She's freaking gorgeous.
Look, man,
Wait, so does Maguire coming back and all of like the Sinister Six and all that? Does that mean that we're getting freaking what's his face back as the Goblin, or are we getting new Goblin?
I would. Willem Dafoe has got to be too old to come back as Norm, but at the same time, I don't think they're ever going to get a better Norm than Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, they should just get him anyway.
Yeah, I would honestly say fuck it, just go for it.
The thing is, they're getting Tobey Maguire at his age, and there's not going to be a big problem with that. There's nothing wrong with bringing back Willem Dafoe as Norman, because if Toby's aged up, it makes perfect sense for Norman to have aged up as well. And I think it'd be perfectly fine to have an older, more sinister Green Goblin who's less of a on-field player and more of the mastermind behind the scenes.
Yo, what if Norm survives the movie and then goes on to do the Secret Empire?
That would be pretty nifty.
Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool versus Willem Dafoe's Goblin would be awesome.
It would. It'd be very good.
Just like
there's so many good stuff that they could do. Shit.
Like, trying to imagine Ryan Reynolds having to act opposite to, like, Willem Dafoe going batshit as Norm just makes... Oh, that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, and the other thing I thought of is, yo, what if they brought back... Because we do have actually a Sandman and a Rhino from those past two movies. I'm sure you guys don't remember, but they did have Paul Giamatti as Rhino for a little bit.
Yeah, they did. My boy.
Oh, yeah.
I love Paul Giamatti. And what if they got Paul Giamatti to come back as Rhino and got Thomas Hayden Church to come back as Sandman? Because Thomas Hayden Church as Sandman was by far the best part of Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I only so sorry for going off topic for a bit, but like I think it shows that I only ever owned 3 Spider-Man 3 toys, which were obviously Spider-Man and Venom, and also Sandman. Sandman was the only one who freaking mattered aside from the main 2.
Yeah, honestly. Fuck New Goblin.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. In the comic books, Sandman and Rhino are like best friends, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thomas Hayden Church and Paul Giamatti very famously played best friends in the movie Sideways. So they've already got a repertoire, a very good repertoire, notably. Because that movie won Oscars. What if we get Paul Giamatti as Rhino, Thomas Hayden Church as Sandman, and we got to have the Sandman-Rhino friendship on screen?
It would be nice.
That would be fantastic.
Oh,
and
man.
While we are at it, let's just also add both of the Venoms that we've had. And also Eminem. Just to have a third one.
Eminem is the third universe's Venom. Oh, fuck. Alright. So, yeah, Marvel, hey, there could be exciting things on the horizon. Several of these things will probably not come out for like 4 or 5 years.
But they're on their way.
Yes!
There's hope in the...
Alright. So, you think we can call that a podcast?
Yeah. Bye.
Oh, bye!